Okay. Third shloka onwards. Sattvanurupa sarvasya.
Which one?
Third shloka. Third.
Sattva Sattvan Rupa Sarvasya
Shraddha bhavati bharata.
Shraddha Bhavati Bharata
Shraddha mayoyam purushaha.
Shraddha Mayoyam Purushaha
Yo yachraddha sa eva saha.
Yo Yashraddha Eva Saha
Yajante satvika devan.
Yajante Satvika Devan
Yaksharaksham rajasaha.
Yasharashamsi Rajasaha
Pretan bhutaganschanye.
Pretan Bhutaganschanye
Yajante tamasa janaha.
Yajante Tamasa Janaha
Ashastra vihitam ghoram.
Ashastra Vihitam Ghoram
Tapyante ye tapo janaha.
Tapyante Ye Tapo Janaha
Dambhahankara sanyuktaha.
Tambahankara Samyuktaha
Kamaragabalanvitaha.
Kamaraga Balanvitaha
Karshayantah sharirastham.
Karsayanta Karirastam
Bhutagramamachetasah.
Bhutagrama Machetasah
Mam chaivantah sharirastham.
Mam Chaivantasarirastam
Tan vidhyasur Tan vidhyasura nischayan.
Tan Vidya Suranishchayan
Aharastvapi sarvasya.
Agaras Vadisarvasya
Trivido bhavati priyaha.
Trividho Bhavati Priyaha
Yajnastapastatha danam.
Yagyat Tapat Tatha Danam
Tesham bhedamimam shrunu.
Tesham Bhedamimam Shruno
Ayusattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhana.
Balarogi Shukapridi Vivardhanaha
Rasya snigdha sthira hrudyaha.
Rasya Snigdha Stira Hridyaha
Ahara satvika priyaha.
Aghara Satvika Priyaha
Katvam lalavanat
Katvam Lalavanat Yushna
Tishnarukshvidahinaha.
Dishna Rucha Vidahinaha
Ahara rajasasyeshtaha.
आहारा राजसस्येष्टाः
दुःखशोकामयप्रदाः
दुःखशोकमयप्रदाः.
First half is one word, so let's try that again. कट्वं ललवणात्युष्ण तीक्ष्णरूक्षविदाहिनः
कट्वं लवणात् युष्ण
Continue.
दीष्णरुचविदाहिनः
आहाराराजसस्येष्टाः
आहारा राजसस्येष्टाः
दुःखशोकामयप्रदाः.
दुःखशोकमयप्रदाः.
Yeah. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna talked about three types of Shraddha in various areas. He's giving some examples. He talked about Yajanam. So Yajanam. So Yajnadi, Homadi. Okay. He talked about three types of Shraddha there, triggered by Arjuna's question. And then he said he is going to talk about in Shloka number 7, Aharaha. Then second line, Yajnaha, Tapaha, Dhanam. These four things also I'm going to talk about. That's what he said. In terms of these three divisions. And then in number 8, we saw the Sattvika Priyaha. People who are of Sattvic nature will like these kinds of foods, like that he said. So we saw that Ayuhu, Sattva Bala, Arogya, etc. We saw. Then now he is going to talk about number 9. We are going to see Rajasasya Ishtaha. What are the types of foods? So this is a good clue, you know. He's not going to talk about food after this. This is only 2 or 3 shlokas. That's it. So this is not a text on Ayurveda, you know. So just a brief reference and then rest left to us. And so here he's going to say Katva, Amla, Lavana, etc. He's talking about. So most of you know these words. Katu, Katu. Katu means bitter. Anything that is bitter is called Katu. And so here, see, there are these words. Look at this. Katu, Amla, Lavana, Ati Ushna. Ushna is hot. Ati Ushna, he says. And then, etc. Those words are coming. So here, Shankaracharya makes a point. He says, if you literally take it, it means you should not, they take bitter foods. Sattvic people should not take bitter foods. Then salty food. Sattvic people should not take salty foods. Like that it becomes. But all tasas, all shadrasas are there in all foods. And so it will become a wrong statement if you simply say like this. And so Shankaracharya says, Ati Shabdaha Katvadishu Sarvatra Yojyaha. So he says that word Ati, the prefix Ati is there, you know. Ati means excessively hot, excessively bitter, excessively too salty, you know. That too, Too, too. He says you have to put the prefix in front of Katu also, in front of Amla also. Katu Amla, like that he says. Katu Lavana. I mean, not Katu, sorry. Ati Katu, Ati Amla, Ati Lavana, Ati Ushna, like that he says you should do. And so we're going to do that. So Ati Katu, too bitter. So extremely bitter, etc. And then Amla, you know, Amla. So sour, Nelika like. Then Lavana. Lavana means salty. Lavanam is salt in Sanskrit. Napumsakam. Here, lavana is salty. Ati Ushna. Ati Ushna. Everywhere Ati is being added. Ushna means temperature wise hot. Temperature heat. Yeah, Ati Ushna. Very hot. And you should, by default, you should also include the very cold items. So that also is not uh, is taken by these people who are Rajasic nature. And then Tikshna word is used to indicate that hot, chilly heat. That is called Tikshna, chilly heat. And so some people can't handle it, some people love it. So it's just you find all extremes everywhere. So where we were living when we were growing up in Hyderabad, our landlord in Andhra, this is Hyderabad. So our landlord. So whenever I go there for lunch, by around lunchtime, if you go to their house, they'll all be sitting around. It's very nice. It's joint family it was, and all the girls, boys, everybody will be sitting, and they will all be having this rice with avakai paste. The avakai paste. I don't know how many of you know. South, everybody, all of us know avakai. North, I don't know. It's called mango pickle. There's a delicacy in Andhra. It's called, they cut these mangoes into not small pieces, but big piece. And then it is soaking in red hot chili and oil. And that's it. Chili, oil, and then mustard and all you have to put. So all these pickle experts know that. And you just have to mix it and keep it soaked for some time in this ceramic jar. And then they will just take a big spoon out of it, put it on the plate. Then that gravy, it's called gravy. That gravy, that is how they start their food. They may have cooked other things also, but this pre-cooked is already there. So and it's very tasty also. And they used to have it. They used to offer me also, and I used to do namaskar to them. I used to do namaskar to them. Thankfully, I did namaskar to them. Namaskar. Thank you. It's very interesting, very nice. I will already my eyes are tears are coming out of my eyes. So I think I was smart then to say thank you.
Smoke will come from ears.
Smoke will come from ears. So that I remember, the Tikshna. So I think that's why they say hot tempered. Hot tempered. Why hot tempered? I don't know. I don't know where that word hot comes from. So anyway, this is called Tikshna. Ruksha. Ruksha means extremely dry, very dry. This very dry, I was thinking of an example. This kadika is there. Kadika, they say. I don't know how to translate that into English. The particular, like a betel nut. Betel nut. I think that's a good example. Betel nut is also dry. You bite it, it will just make your mouth dry. It will absorb all the saliva. Mouth will become dry. You can't talk also. That's called ruksha.
Haratiki.
Haratiki. Is what?
Kadaka.
Oh, kadika is haratiki. I see. Kadika. Kadika is, that's why it's supposed to be good for colds and all. Okay, it just sucks the liquids, I think.
It's a good component, major component in Triphala.
Oh, major component in Triphala. See, look at that. Look at that. So it has some value, no doubt. So, ruksha means very dry. Vidahinaha. Vidahinaha. Dah, to burn. Dahanam, burn. Vidahinaha. Foods that are pungent and it will just burn. Some people like the throat burning, that burning sensation. I think people like. That's what Krishna is talking about. And it goes inside and it just activates the body. That burning sensation is needed. I think some of these alcohols are also like that. I think it will just burn. I think some hard liquor and all, and also all this country liquor and all, it just burns. I think they need that kick.
That is on the rock.
Huh?
On the rock.
On the rock. Okay.
Not on the rock, straight scotch. No rock. A rock dilutes. You should drink the scotch straight like a honey.
Okay, I didn't realize so many experts are there in this room, but thanks for all that input. So that is the Vidahina means you can put all the words you mentioned, you can put there. And so it just all these corrosive things, and it'll even mustard seed, they say it's Ushnam. In our language, they say Ushnam because it creates the heat in the body. And I'm reminded of this chili in the US. Of course, here Mulha Bhaji is the chili bhaji they eat. Chili bhaji. And chili bhaji, some places that chili is not hot at all. But there are some chilies which are just burning hot. They just love this stuff. Just eat it, that too. Temperature wise hot also and chili hot also. Both combination. Fantastic it will be, I think. And so in the US, they used to have this, this Subway. I used to go to the Subway restaurant because that's where I used to get this vegetarian food. And without onion and all, that's the only place I can go. Because you have to ask them everything. Put this, put the lettuce, tomato, carrot. Carrot, then they say they look for carrot because nobody has asked for carrot, and I'm the only guy asking for carrot. So small box will be there, and they'll put some carrot from there. And then I have to tell them to change the gloves first. First thing I do is change the gloves. And they say, what is this crazy guy asking me to change gloves? Gloves itself I'm putting so that my hands are clean. Okay. Now this guy is asking me to change the gloves. This is, I don't know. We have to go through all this, what to do. And then there is something called jalapeno pepper. Jalapeno pepper. That's a favorite. And so it's hot. On top of that, they soak it in vinegar or something like that. It just burned. It will just I think nobody can miss the jalapeno pepper. And so jalapeno pepper dalo, and then mustard on top of that. Put mustard powder paste. I don't know where this idea came from. I think it was mustard. I don't take mustard because I knew this mustard. I never went near mustard, but it must be something like that. I think mustard, jalapeno, and then onion. You put all these things, and then if they have chili powder, I think there's some people will ask chili powder and pepper is also there. By the way, I forgot salt and pepper. Extra pepper, please, and you just eat that Subway salad. Already,
In India, Guruji,
uh,
in India we have booth variety that is in East India.
okay. Already that Subway sandwich is very big. It can't go into the mouth. And they will struggle to squeeze and put it in the mouth. And then on top of that, it's burning also. I think it's a good feeling. People like it. So that's what it says. The Shankar Krishna is saying, who are we to talk? And then, so these are all. And not only that, these kinds of foods, dukkha shoka pradaha. According to Krishna, you might not agree with all this, but Krishna is saying dukkha and shoka. Dukkha means short term, because dukkha, burning sensation, this, that, and it creates dukkha. Immediate sensation is dukkha. Then long term shoka also it creates. That's what Krishna is saying. Shoka. Shoka means sorrow. And, they say in here, I've heard it as kids and all. If you take a lot of chili hot foods, you'll become angry. It's anger. They say that. So anger is shoka, right? So I think that's how I'm connecting this to that. So the foods have a big impact on the mind. So we agree with all this. Next, Amaya Pradaha. Amaya. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Amaya means disease, ill health. So
Shoka is not grief.
sorrow, grief. That's what I'm saying. No, sorrow.
Sorrow.
Yeah, so it is grief only. So Amaya Pradaha. Disease causing, Krishna is saying. So you ask our Narayanan and other Ayurvedic Meera and other Ayurveda people, they will give a lot of details about why this is Amaya Pradaha, disease giving. And these are the foods that are Aharaha Rajasasya Ishtaha. Ishtaha, desired by. Rajasasya, by people of Rajasa constitution. These foods, Aharaha. are desired by Rajasa people. So is there any advantage to these foods? Again, medically, some advantages maybe. They say garlic is good for the heart and all this. Okay, good. Let there be some good. Every food has some good quality, no doubt about that. And so, onion also, they say something about cholesterol and all this. That's good. All that is nice. There's some advantages to that. But then these people, this routinely, they're also very Rajasic people, very active. After eating this food, the Brahmana fellow, after eating all this curd rice, he'll go to sleep. But this Rajasa people, after eating avakkai, will go to sleep? I doubt it. He's just ready to work. So you have to appreciate all that. So that's the advantage. Disadvantage? Disadvantage is it will take you away from this karma yoga, jnana yoga, and all. It will be much harder. And so it will diverge, spiritually divergent it can become. So that is the thing to take from here. Dukkha shoka amaya pradaha. You should not say dukkha sho, kama, yapradaha, and all you can't say. Because I see the word kama, therefore kama must be there, because Krishna is using the word kama all the time. That's not the way to split this. Dukkha sho, kama, yapradaha, wrong. Otherwise, I'll get a call from Swami Sadatmananda. What is this, Jaykumar? You're teaching all kinds of stuff. Where are you coming from? I thought we are from Asha Vidya Gurukula. So we have to maintain some standards here. Dukkha, shoka, amaya pradaha. And you are familiar with all these words. Let's translate this. Foods that are bitter, in Swamiji's translation. Foods that are bitter, sour, salty, excessively hot, pungent, astringent. There are technical words. Astringent. Okay, pungent, astringent, and burning. Foods that are bitter, sour, salty, excessively hot. The word excessively must go with every other word also. Pungent, astringent, and burning. That give pain and sorrow. Pain is discomfort of the body, pain, sorrow, and ill health. Are highly desired by Rajasika people. Are highly desired by Rajasika people. Foods that are bitter, sour, salty, excessively hot, pungent, astringent, and burning, that give pain, sorrow, and ill health, are highly desired by Rajasika.
I think we left out a root char, right? Dry.
Correct. Dry must be there. So before the burning, put dry. Yeah. Dry and good. Next shloka. यातयामं गतरसं
यातयामं गतरसं
पूतिपर्युषितं च यत्
पूतिपर्युषितं च यत्
उच्छिष्टमपि च मेध्यम्
उच्छिष्टमपि च मेद्यं
भोजनं तामसप्रियम्
भोजनतामसप्रियम्
यातयामं गतरसं
यातयामं गतरसं
पूतिपर्युषितं च यत्
पूतिपर्युषितं च यत्
उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यम्
उच्छिष्टमपि चामेद्यं
भोजनं तामसप्रियम्.
भोजनं तामसप्रियम्.
So now he's going to talk about tamasa priyaha, what kind of foods they like. Satvika over in 8, and then 9 rajasic foods, and then 10 is tamasa guna. So yata yamam. This is a popular shloka. Sometimes then when we go for lunch or dinner or something like that. Normally we don't go out. As I've stopped eating outside. Really. I used to occasionally, but even that I'm reducing. Yatayama. So if something is not cooked or undercooked, or some smell comes, or something is not nice, immediately our students will quote Yatayamam Gatarasa. This is a popular shloka to quote in those circumstances. So if you want to speak in a language that they don't want to understand, you just say Yatayamam Gatarasa. They will understand. We all will understand. So undercooked, uncooked, and which is very unvedic. All our foods are all cooked in some way or form, and mildly cooked or heated up, etc. So that's why you won't find these salads, this vegetable salad, which is very popular in the US. Here, you don't, in India and all, you won't find that as a popular, some upscale restaurants, if you go, they'll give you salads. But locally and all, you will not get salads, especially as a warm country. So I remember I was having a lunch. See, in the US, salad was helping me a lot because where I can't have any food, salad is the only food I could. And even there, once they managed to put some chicken and all inside, and then I was careful, very, very careful. And then once what happened, as I was having this salad, one small roach came out of it. What to do? This is all these things are there. And then after that, you can't eat the food. And so that's a problem. Roach means what? That's it. It attracts food. Uncooked food problem is it can have germs, it can have all these insects, and cauliflower and all, they will always soak in salt water, so that you remove all these insects that are there inside. That white insect you can't see with your eyes also. Cauliflower, camouflaged. So this uncooked food is people in India will not appreciate much. So that is called Yata Yamam. Gata Rasam, other extreme, overcooked food. Gata Rasam, whatever rasam is there, whatever nutrition is there, it's all gone because it's cooked for a long time, cooked at high temperature, etc. Or just fried, and so everything is gone, overcooked. And on top of that, what they'll do is when you boil vegetables, they'll take the vegetables and then they'll throw away the water also. Then gone. Whatever nutrition is there in the vegetable has gone into the water. And then water is thrown out. I think some people are smart. They do the right thing. At least you drink it or something like that. So the gata rasam is nutritionless, devoid of nutrition, bereft of nutrition. Puti. Puti means foul smelling. Foul smelling. Because it's left outside for a long time. And Swamiji adds, even if it is left inside the refrigerator for a long time, that also you should call Puti. No, sorry, that is Puti foul smelling. The refrigerator food need not be foul smelling. That is come next, it's going to come. Paryushitam is going to come. Paryushitam is kept overnight. Okay. Even if it is inside the fridge. Outside the fridge means, okay, overnight there's a risk of getting spoiled. But inside the food also, you say it's very good, very tasty. You put it in the microwave and then have it. Swamiji says, many people won't like what I'm going to say. Like that, he starts this discussion. And I think people have told Swamiji that, these people, they cook sambar and put it in the freezer for some time. So this guy, because the wife has gone into India for a month. So how is he going to manage? And then no problem. Rasam is there in one vessel, frozen. And then sambar frozen. And then I don't know how you freeze unfrozen sambar. I don't know how to do that. Somehow they managed to do it. And then for 1 month, the guy is managing. Anyway, that's all. Whatever today's life, it is like that, I think. But so why it is not acceptable by Krishna is this: because the food has to be given, offered to Om Bhutbhuvaswaha Tatsa Vitarvare Endyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. First, it has to be offered to Bhagavan. Then the food becomes prasada. How can you offer 1 month old sambar to Bhagavan? Not accepted. That's just too much. That's too much. Some families, when they go abroad, their children are abroad, they go. Sometimes they just return back very soon. I asked them, what happened? 6 months you can stay abroad. You came back in 2 months. You know what? They give some reasons. This reason I heard once. It says, no, the food practices there, we can't handle. We can't handle means what? They don't eat that kind of food, but we can't even see this kind of thing happening. So we just came away from there. That's it, we returned. So very traditional people can't handle all this. And so, because that thing is there, Naivedya, everything has to be offered before consuming. So you might say, no, food is all good. We have tested it in the lab. After 3 days, the sambar had no bacteria and all. All that argument you can give. Acceptable. It may be true also. That's fine. I'm glad it's free of germs and all. But that is paryushitam. That's what is being meant. Later on, he's going to talk about amedhyam also. Next is going to come amedhyam. Yeah. Na purne sada purne. Shankara prana vallabhe. Jnana vairagya siddhyartham. Dikshan dehi cha parvati. For Jnanam and Vairagyam, I'm having this. So how are we going to say all this with old food and all? So it's bit tricky. Okay, I don't want to create a guilt here, but this is what Krishna is saying. So we have to do what is practical, all right. Do what's practical, but keep this message in mind all the time. That's good. Chayat uchishtam api. Uchishtam api. Uchishtam is leftover food. Take a bite of pizza, then put the remaining for later. This a non-kosher food, uchishtam, with saliva in the food, and somebody else takes it later. This is not acceptable in Vedic culture. So rejected food left as remainder, uchishtam. That's what he's talking about. And then cha amedhyam. Amedhyam. Medha means yajna. Medha means yajna. Amedhyam, that which is not worthy of offering in a puja or a yajna. That is the meaning of amedhyam. Not worthy of apavitram vityarthaha. Apavitram. Food that can't be offered. As a naivedyam, you can't offer it. Okay, for naivedyam. So, naivedyam, nivedanam arhati iti nivedam. And then nivedasya bhavaha naivedyam. So that which is qualified to be served to Bhagavan is called nivedam. And that quality is called naivedyam. That's how it works. So medhyam means nivedana arham, qualifying for giving to Bhagavan. And so amedhyam, apavitram, filthy, impure, And I saw one meaning for amedhi. Amedhyam also refers to this urine and things like that. It refers also malamutradi. That also Vachaspatiam gives that meaning. So we saw in the third chapter, 13th shloka, Yajnashishtasina santaha muchyante sarva kilbishai bhunjate te tvagam papaha ye pachantyatmakarana. So very interesting shloka it was. Yajnashishtasina santaha. So those who have food only after finishing off all the obligations, including minimum naivedyam. And then after all the elders have eaten, then they eat. Like that. Yajnashishtasina santaha. Bhunjante te tu agham papaha ye pachanti atmakarana. Those who cook only for themselves, they without offering it to anybody, then that Krishna used a very strong word called agham. So papam, pachanti atmakarana. So these things we can bring in this particular shloka also, for this particular word. So amedhyam, yajna ayogyam. Yajna ayogyam, that is the meaning of amedhyam. And so that's why these practices are useful. That's why all these practices, even wherever we are, whichever country we are living in, there certain practices are there. Typical Hindu family, wearing a tilak will be there, leaving the shoes outside, then not stepping on things. There's definitely not paper and books and all. When you step on paper, immediately there'll be an allergic reaction in any Vedic person. So all these are very basic practices you'll find in a Hindu home. And of course, lighting the lamp, chanting shlokas, all these things are there. So I think when you have these practices, as children, when they grow up with this, somehow this dharma can be salvaged. You know what I mean? Salvaged. Otherwise, even the practices, the child doesn't even know these things. Doesn't even know. The child is asking, why are you wearing this? All these marks on your forehead. Why did you do this? When you stepped on this piece of paper, all these ideas are alien. In a Western world, it's very alien. And so that these practices, basic practices are useful to have in our family, so that eventually we can go towards the Vedas when it takes us towards the Upanishads. Okay, anyway, those are all some comments. Swamiji makes a comment here. He says, it's a bit disturbing comment. He says, Vedic life is disappearing itself. Swami Paramartha. So anyway, so we are working hard to let not that happen. So anyway, Bhojanam Tamasa Priyam. Tamasa Jana Priyam. That is the foods. These are the type of foods liked by this Tamasa Buddhis, people with Tamasa constitution, is what Krishna is saying here. So indicating indirectly that for people like us who want to study the Shastram, we better change our food habits if we have. That is what is an indirect indication. And so better become Sattvika Priyaha. And because food impacts the mind, and so we don't want, as good advice is given, might as well follow that. Okay, let's translate the shloka. Food which is stale or inadequately cooked. Food which is stale or inadequately cooked. From which the essence has gone. It means lacks nourishment. Essence has gone. Which is putrid. Overnight leftover, and also unfit as an offering, amedhyam. Unfit as an offering. Is beloved to a tamasika person. Is beloved to a tamasika person, or is liked by a tamasika person. Tamasa priyam, how do you translate the word priyam? So beloved, Swamiji says beloved is liked by a tamasika person. Okay, let me read that again. Food which is stale or inadequately cooked, from which the essence has gone, which is putrid overnight, leftover, and also unfit as an offering, is loved by a tamasika person. Yeah, so ahara is talked about in the list. If you look at shloka number 7, the next one in the list is yajnaha, shloka 7. Aharastvapi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha yajnaha. So he's going to talk about yajnaha now. All right. Aphala kankshibhir yajnaha.
Apalankangshibhiryajnaha
Vidhidrishto ya ijyate.
Vidithrishto ya ijyate
Yashtavyameveti manaha.
Yashtavyameveti manaha
Samadhaya sa satvikaha.
Samadhaya sa satvikaha
Aphala kankshibhir yajnaha.
Apalankangshibhiryajnaha
Vidhidrishto ya ijyate.
Vidithrishto ya ijyate
Yashtavyameveti manaha.
Yashtavyameveti manaha
Samadhaya sa satvikaha.
Samadhaya sa satvikaha
So satvikaha yajnaha. All right. So Shankaracharya says, Atha idanim yajnaha trividaha uchyate. Right now, Krishna is talking about 3 types of yajna. That's how he introduces 11, 12, and 13. So, Krishna is in a way defining yajna as vidhi drishtaha. Vidhi drishtaha. Vidhi. Vidhi means mandate. Must do. This must be done. Period. No questions asked. Okay. So, see, this spiritual journey is I won't say it's tough. It's a journey that doesn't seem to be available for everybody. And even when we decide to go towards Atma, right, be spiritual, Antarmukha, the journey seems to take a while. It's a long journey. It's a slow process because so many changes we have to make to ourselves, to our lives. And so it's a slow process. That is why our Vedas tell us there are certain things you must do. It may not be obvious to you why, but you do it. Exactly like the doctor says, walk every morning. Walk every morning. Or every day you go for a walk. Walk for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, very good. You can do that. So But younger people won't understand why this advice is given. Only after we have all kinds of problems, arthritis, this, that, etc. Then after arthritis, we say, oh, I should have walked. Arthritis, you can't walk. There's a problem. So there are certain advice given that we ought to follow for our own benefit. And so Vedas, our rishis are like the spiritual doctors. There are certain things you do. You do your daily puja, anushthanadi, do it. Because it is not clear what the benefit is. A child doesn't know what the benefit of Sadhya Mandiram is. Will not know. But the child will be ready to do it also. Ready to do. That's a beautiful. Thankfully, the child will do it. Thankfully. Because the child asks all kinds of questions. Where will we go? Why should I do this? What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of that? If you keep on asking, then after a point, you can't do much. And so, like that here also, vidhi drishtaha yajnaha. It's all mandated by the Veda. Okay. And fortunately, you don't have to get up in the morning and do a homa and then with fire and ghee and all that. All of us don't have to do that, because you know what? Every activity is converted into yajna. We should better start learning to look at taking a bath as a yajna, having food as a major yajna. Agnihotra, it's called food. Agnihotra, without Agni, you can do yajna, and that we are doing every day. It's called having a bhojanam. It's called bhojanam. And so, convert the food into prasada first, and then chant some shlokas, mantras, whatever you know, and then have the food. Then our attitude slowly will begin to change. So, that's the beauty of, that's how I see these things. And they have converted all these things into yajnas. So therefore, there is no secular activity. Nothing needs to be a secular activity. Even our meetings, we have this trust meetings and all. I start the meetings with a prayer, end with a prayer. It's prayerful. All the way it's prayerful. All the way it's prayerful. There are a lot of things we are trying to do, and we don't know how things will work out. And money has to be there, and this and that. And Srinivasanji did this 1008 Velakku Puja. 1008. It's a major accomplishment. Really, I don't know how it could have happened. Swamiji's blessing must be there. And organizing for, in a small place, remote place, to have so many lamps, so many gallons of oil, and place for people to stay. People started arriving from the morning. Fortunately, this Kalyana Mandapam, somebody opened up the Kalyana Mandapam, said, you guys use it. They didn't charge us. Amazing it is. It just worked out. It was so beautiful to see. And so everything is prayerful. That's a beautiful attitude. And so Veda makes these things mandatory. Panchamaha yajnaha. See, all these are synonymous. Mandatory karma. Vihitam karma. It's called vihitam. The word is vihitam. Vihitam. Or nitya naimittika karma. The daily anushtanas that we are all supposed to do. It's called nitya naimittika karma. Or Pancha Mahayajna. No, I am not, I don't know. I don't know any. I don't do anything. I'm not taught anything. I haven't been taught anything. No, Pancha Mahayajna is there. Just do. Help whoever you can help. Manusha Yajna is there. Bhuta Yajna is there. Environment is there. Go water the plants somewhere. If you don't have a garden, go outside and do something. And so many things can be done. So all these yajnas, Pancha Mahayajna, all these are synonymous. And so here, that is called vidhi. All these are called vidhi, mandate. And Swami says it's a mandate because otherwise we won't do. We won't do all these things. The tendency will not be to just walk away from it. And so make it mandatory. And then the penalty creates some fear also. Fear. If you don't do this, then what? Pratyavaya doshaha. Doshaha. Papa, a type of papa called Pratyavaya papa. We saw that word Pratyavaya before in the third chapter or something, second chapter. Neha Vikramana Shrusti Pratyavayona Vidyate, like that we saw in the second chapter. So that Pratyavaya dosha, if I don't do my daily puja, then not only I'm not going to get any punyam, I may get some papam also. Pratyavaya dosha is there. Like that, for certain things, there are Pratyavaya dosha also. Yeah. And therefore, at least with that fear, I will do some puja, etc. And then the benefits also are there. Obviously, some benefit must be there. Otherwise, absolutely, the interest is not there. And so, two types of benefits. One is dharmartha kama benefit. Artha, material benefit. I want to be more prosperous, materially prosperous. Okay? That same Sandhyavandanam, japa that we are doing, that japa can be done for material benefit also. Or if a person has grown out of the need for material benefit, or person has grown out in the sense a person has seen the limitations of material benefit, limitations, vairagya, then the other benefit is what? Spiritual benefit. Benefit towards karma yoga. Adhikaritva benefit. May I become an adhikari? May I become a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna purushaha. Okay. So those kinds of benefits. One is material benefit, other is non-material benefit. And so by these things, we do all these anushtanadi, daily parayanadi, everything we do. And so then what happens? Here Krishna is saying, these sattvic people, aphala akangshibihi. Okay, we'll come back to the Ashtavya. Aphala. So they don't have this palam. Palam is what? Artha palam. Sattvic people, they are not doing these things for artha. Very bold statement there. Aphala. Means no result, no tangible result. Then why are you doing it? Yashtavyaha. Because it must be done. Vedas has told it must be done, therefore I am doing. Yashtavyaha. Okay, that is the Shraddha in the Veda. So I must do, and therefore I am doing it. See, the Veda does not have to say you must have food. Because you are going to have food. You don't need a scripture to come and say, I must have food. You don't need a scripture to say, I must take a bath. You don't need a scripture to say, you must protect your family. All these things we don't have. The scripture doesn't have to say all that. Certain things it won't say. But so here, Yashtavyaha, it has to say, you must do certain things. And so these people, the Tatvikas, they Yashtavyaha iti, they do. And without desiring any material benefit. Okay, aphala kangshibihi. And so they look at it as a sattvika karma. They look at it as a nitya karma. I must do it. Or naimitika karma. I must do it periodically. Or they look at it as a pancha maha yajna. It must be done. Family, pitri yajna, manushya yajna, bhuta yajna, deva yajna, brahma yajna. So these are all available for us to do. Because otherwise, what is the benefit of doing Gayatri Japa? Somebody asks, what will you do? Okay, some of you are young people, you have young children. And so, Gayatri Japa nala enna labh? Kya labh hai? For a child, it is difficult to explain also. That is other problem. One problem, a child is asking, and then the other problem is when you explain, the child has to understand, may not be mature enough to understand also. So these questions are difficult to answer initially, and be able to understand. So Anyway, yaha ijyate, the one who does yajna in this manner. Yajna is a general broad term, right? Yajna in this manner. Manaha samadhaya. Yashtavyam we said, right? So, must be done. I do it because I must do it. Vedas said I must do it. Then manas samadhaya, with full commitment, not with a sense of regret. Initially, it may be boring or it may be not clear, confusion, somebody is forcing me to do, all these things might be there. But later on, manas samadhaya, samadhanam, focus, with full focus, but with full commitment, I do whatever I'm doing. 5 minutes, 10 minutes is all it's going to take, 15 minutes. Sometimes it may take 1 hour. Sraddham and all will take a little longer. Tarpanam, etc. So, joyfully I do it. So, like that it comes. Manas samadhaya, yaha ijyate, the one who does this kind of yajna with total commitment, saha satvikaha. That person, not that person. Saha is what here? What is saha? Saha means he, literally he. Huh?
विधिदृष्ट
Practices all this.
विधिदृष्ट क्रियते सः सात्विकः
Saha what? Saha is who? What is saha?
Yaha ijyate.
श्रद्धावान्
Saha yajnaha. There also yaha I did not say properly. He is talking about yajnaha, not about the people who are doing yajna, really speaking. Think about it. He is talking about satvikaha yajnaha. Saha yajnaha satvikaha. That yajna is called satvika, done in this particular manner. Correct? Let me look at the shloka, full shloka once again. Okay, kangshibihi. Apala kangshibihi means that is the people who don't desire. Okay. Yajnaha. Yajnaha is a nominative subject here. So saha yajnaha satvikaha. Okay, ijyate. That yajna which is done in this manner, ijyate, by whom? By these people. Apalakangshibihi, etc. That yajna is called a satvikaha yajnaha. Okay. So nice trick there here.
So it is yaha yagnaha.
Yeah, it's yaha yajnaha ijyate. That yajna which is done. Passive voice, ijyate. Otherwise it will be yajate. If yaha was a person, then it must just be yajati. Think about it. Okay.
So Guruji, aphalakankshi yajna is the adjective visheshana to that yajna.
Illama, palakangshibihi is tritiya vibhaktihi. Done by.
That yajna, it is there,
Yeah,
no? There
done by people who are not materialistic. Correct? Yes or no? Not convinced.
Kumarji, here yaha yajnaha ichyate saha satvikaha. So it has to be saha means yajna.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
No, I was trying to understand. Aphalakankshi yajna is there, no?
Correct. Apalakangshibihi is tritiya vibhaktihi. Why are you joining Prathama Vibhakti and Tritiya Vibhakti? Tritiya Vibhakti by that yajna which is done by Tritiya Vibhakti by such people, such a yajna is called a satvikaha yajna. Anyway, we'll discuss it later. Okay? We'll translate the shloka. Satvik yajna is that. Now, after the English translation, I think we may be clearer. Let's see. Satvik yajna is that which is performed wholeheartedly, according to scriptural or Vedic injunctions, performed wholeheartedly according to Vedic injunctions, by those who are not desirous of within brackets material and result, who are not desirous of material result, with the resolve that, or with the attitude that, with the resolve that it should be performed by those who are not desirous of material result, with the resolve that it should be performed. Okay, let me read it once again. Sattvic yajna is that which is performed wholeheartedly according to Vedic injunctions by those who are not desirous of material result and with the resolve that it should be performed. It means yajna. We'll continue.
Only material is in bracket?
Yeah, only material is in bracket. Correct.
Thank you.
Literally translated, it will be without expecting any results. But the minimum result is what? The fact that I am following the Vedic mandate itself gives me joy, correct? So that joy I do want. I do want the joy that I am following what the Veda is. That's why we are saying this. Okay. Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaah Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om